actually stops it. Awesome. Alright, all this engine fiasco's getting in the way of what I really want to be doing today, and that's getting some more steel work done. Brain's not working good. Right, now I know I've got the engine working. Still needs the carburetor adjusted and stuff like that there. But we can take the engine back out now, safe in the knowledge that that's not a dud. Take that out, put it to the side, and start on a couple more jobs. One is probably going to be the steering. I think if I get bogged into that there, I can make a good dent in it today. Alright, so we've decided today is going to be steering day. So what I have here is I have one of the wheels attached. What we're using for the steering is this kind of assembly here. So you've got a go-kart hub on a little spindle, and the spindle pivots on this big. It's an M14 bolt with two M14 rose joints, and the two rose joints go into those holes there. So what you're left with is this kind of setup here. You can see there, rotates nice and freely, and it'll be good and strong. The first element besides that, so we've got that there, we've got the beam of the axle, we've got this little housing here which is going to take the front knuckle for the track rods. So the first thing we need to sort out is the little tab that comes off of this and runs back to the track rods. So we want to get as long a tab as it can. It still needs to be able to fit the rose joint end in there, and the tab needs to be pointing this way such that it focuses on the center point of the rear axle. But it's going to be mounted in front, so the more you see as it focuses there, it'll end up being in here somewhere, but hopefully there's enough offset and it works out nice, and we can still retain a bit of steering lock as well. First arm on, give it a wee clean up and check it all fits. 4 wheels, which is a first, and with a bit closer look in at what I've just done. So get the little tab on there. You can see the tab points inwards towards the wheel rim. This is one of the little rose joints I'm using for the ends of the track rods. They're M10s, so there's all kinds of room in there for that, all kinds of room. So the next kind of things to do is the center piece. So what there'll be is airplane. Okay, so when I come to the end of Sunday now, it was about 8 o'clock, and this is how she's sitting. So Lewis and Kieran come back there, and Lewis was really persistent with this engine and managed to get it running pretty well, so pretty pleased with that there. I didn't think I was going to get going properly today, so we didn't really do any more on the steering, so I'm going to do a load on that now, machine up a load of pieces, so tomorrow I can just weld it together, and then the other thing to do is sort this list out, because really at this stage we're kind of on a home straight-ish on a couple of things. There's pieces on this that kind of don't represent an awful lot of work, and there's some pieces on it that actually are quite large jobs, so I'm going to break it down into each of the individual jobs and stuff like that there, and just get an idea of where I'm at with the whole thing. Right, got a reasonable bit done today, don't I? Like, got our engine going, it's all mocked up and stuff like that there, so that's one big hurdle done. So tomorrow we're going to try and finish off that steering, which requires me to do a fair bit of lathe work tonight. Yeah, so just going to get stuck in on that there, and then tomorrow another day off, try and get the back broke on this thing, go fetch a load of bolts and stuff like that there, and the finishing pieces for the track rods. Hopefully by tomorrow we'll have a working engine and working steering. It's like 1:10 in the morning, and I think I've finished off my machine work for the day. So got this wee boss with two little aluminium bushes in it. That's going to form the center point for the bell crank at the front of the axle. I have 6 of these yokes here, little bushes, left and right thread, and then they'll insert into the tube I'm getting tomorrow, and then we'll weld them around that collar, and that'll make the track rods. Just 3 track rods, the bell crank, and a little tab on the bottom of the steering, and then that's the steering more or less sorted. Meantime, I'm going to sleep. I'm fucking tired, boy. In the morning. Right, it's been a busy morning. We went and fetched the steel for the track rods. The T-drive finally showed up. All kinds of nuts and bolts and stuff like that there. The engine's off. We're going to rip the top of this thing off and get that T-drive in, and mock up a position for the 2 pulleys, so I can order a V-belt. I'm probably going to order that from about 3 different people. We'll try and get a hold of that today, because that is the last piece of the puzzle. Everything else is now fucking here. So we'll sort that out, and yeah, so by the end of the day, hopefully steering on a T-drive. Watch to see if that happens. Okay, it's 8:30 on a Monday night. Now we got that new list I was talking about. Already a fair bit hacked out of that already, like, so we're making decent progress now. We're kind of getting into the swing of things, because all the pieces are starting to arrive now. So the main one that arrived today was the T-drive. You can see it there in situ. So we've got the whole framework in for the T-drive, and also tie that into these Nerf bars to give them a bit more strength. So the T-drive, for anyone not really knowing what that is, it takes the vertical shaft drive. So the engine comes down a vertical shaft. There's a pulley there, runs back to another pulley, which will be on the bottom of this T-drive here. And as that there shaft turns around, the T-drive then takes that vertical shaft rotation and turns it into horizontal, so it'll match up with the back axle. So on this horizontal shaft there, we've got a little sprocket off of a conveyor belt, and then another one on the back. So it'll just be a wee chain drive and a little tensioner just under here that'll kind of keep that all tight. Yeah, so we've done that there, and then with this in place, we've been able to measure the whole pitch between this and the front. So it's something like 53 inches on the dot. So then with that there in mind, I'm going to push this out of the way, take 2 pulleys. I reckon I need about a 2-to-1 ratio, so I'm going to take 2 pulleys of the correct sizes, mark them out at 54, get the old belt and try and come up with a belt size so I can order one up tomorrow. And then after that's done, we're going to finish off these this whole steering assembly at the front. Right, so this is us at the end of Monday night. So Monday was pretty pretty solid day, flat out, just everything all happening like. But got these the two front wheels connected with their track rods. Got this bell crank in the centre here. It's the T-drive is in place. It's only held in with one bolt at the moment, just because I'm taking things backwards and forwards, in and out, and all the rest of that there. Eventually we've got the new axle for it with the full length keyway. This is the problem. This is the reason why we're not using this axle. The keyway actually only goes till about here and then stops, and there's nothing in the centre, and where I need it is all in the centre. So that there's coming, and when we reassemble it with that there, we'll put all this stuff together for real. Then the Nerf bars all been kind of beefed up and shit like that there, and we'll finish the rest of the steering off tomorrow. I got about 90% of it done, like, so I'm quite happy, like, so although you can't tell it by my face. We'll start again tomorrow, sure. Right, night.